Welcome to Wolfpack Weekdays. Today we're going to be talking about DC Rebirth. So before I begin, I want to talk about this huge comic news that came out basically recently that has been infecting the internet, because that's kind of the reason I'm talking about Rebirth instead. Basically what happened was it was revealed that Captain America from Marvel was always a double agent for Hydra. And if you don't know what that means, it basically means that he was a double agent for the Nazi regime that he fought tooth and nail against for so long, like 75 years. Ridiculous amount of time, and honestly, it's one of the stupidest decisions I've ever seen in comics. It makes no sense. It just seems like they want people to buy it because it's a twist, you know? Literally, this frame right here is the big thing. The whole fact that he said "Hail Hydra" at the end of his first issue when they rebooted. Oh god, people went nuts, and it's been infecting the internet like a plague. So that's kind of what I want to talk about Rebirth instead. I mean, I'm a DC Comics fan as well as a Marvel fan, but man, it's been so like watered down almost. There was so much about it, so much talk about it, that I don't even want to talk about it. You guys have already heard everything you need to know, so we're going to talk about Rebirth today. And basically what Rebirth is it's a reboot of the DC universe where they are taking the parts they didn't like, or the parts that they found were done wrong more than anything, and they are basically rewriting the story. They're giving a solution for the things that we dislike and the things we like. So I'm very excited for it. And I have the first issue, which was basically the Rebirth origin before the individual comics came out, like Superman, Green Arrow, and all that. But before that happens, I'm going to go ahead and say, just go ahead and throw this out there, that from this moment on, this very second, spoiler warning, huge freaking red lights flashing spoiler warning. Okay? Because I have to talk about Darkseid War before I talk about Rebirth. Because this is what leads into it. So if you haven't read Justice League Darkseid War 1 through 10, first of all, go find them because it's awesome. Well, anyway, so here's your spoiler warning. Last chance to leave. If you want to leave, you got to leave now. Did you leave yet? Final warning. Okay, spoiler warning. Okay, now that that's out of the way, we're going to talk about this. So basically, I'm just going to cover the last moments of Darkseid War before Rebirth, because that's all you really need to know about this. Yes, it's a great comic. There's literally the Anti-Monitor versus Darkseid. It is freaking awesome. But, the big parts are in the end. The end reveal a bunch of things about the DC universe that none of us ever knew, and it makes a very interesting future for the DC universe. So basically what happens is, now there's a female Green Lantern of Earth. She was Power Ring, which used the Green Syndicate ring from Crime Syndicate of the other universe, basically the evil versions of the Justice League. She became the new Green Lantern of Earth. Basically, I think there's 3 right now. I don't think Guy Gardner's technically in the story. So there's 3, or maybe he's a Red Lantern. I'll have to look into that. But there's 3 Lanterns of Earth now. Lex Luthor has taken the place of Darkseid. Interesting as hell. He literally got god powers from Darkseid dying to the Anti-Monitor, and he became the god of Apocalypse, and he still has the throne. He is running Apocalypse. Lex freaking Luthor. Holy crap, that's weird. Batman was on the Mobius chair, which is the chair that knows everything. He actually became the god of knowledge from sitting on it. And he asked it, and this is the one that got me really excited. He asked it, what is the Joker's real name? And the chair told him, which one? There are 3 Jokers. 3 separate people that are all the Joker, which makes complete sense, because there's always been a one that's very murderous, like from The Killing Joke and Death in the Family, where he killed Jason Todd and basically crippled Barbara Gordon. There's been the one that's very focused on Batman, where all he wants to do is kill the Bat and that's it. And then there's the one that wants to kill everyone and everything. There's 3 unique identities of the Joker, and there's always been very different stories and very different character design of these Jokers, and now there's a reason. So that was the big one. Besides that, Wonder Woman has a twin brother, actually. So he was the first person on Themyscira. He's the chosen one that's supposed to be able to take down the Anti-Monitor or something like that. And I think that's it for Darkseid War. Still, you should read it. 10-part series. Really great. In the Justice League series that just ended. It's easy to find. Your local comic shop should have it. What that leads into is Rebirth. And Rebirth starts off with a bang. Man, Green Lantern at the end of this shows up, and that's where they reveal there's 3 Jokers. And Batman, you can already see, is just obsessing over the fact that there's 3. He wants to find out who they are so bad. He has all 3 of basically the people he thinks, the versions of the Joker that are separate, on the screen, and he's sitting there trying to figure out who they could be, and he's bound and determined to get down to it, and then freaking Wally West shows up. If you don't know who Wally West is, he was the Kid Flash. And in the Flashpoint storyline, the Kid Flash sacrifices himself to make sure that everyone's okay. So, he's stuck in the Speed Force, and he's trying to find his way out, and he goes to him, and Batman doesn't even really remember him, but he said something very key. He said that your father's letter, I was the reason you have that. Because in the Flashpoint storyline, Thomas Wayne is Batman. Basically, Bruce got killed. So, the mom becomes the Joker, Martha, and Thomas becomes Batman in that world. And he's much darker, much more brutal. So what I think is that Wally West is probably going to end up being like the main protagonist. That's kind of why this cover art is the way it is. They're all reaching for Wally's hand. Like, all of them, man. I mean, Aquaman, Green Lantern, Superwoman, all of them. Or Superwoman, Supergirl. With that being said, the last part I didn't tell you about the Darkseid War was the very last scene. And the reason I didn't is because it has to do pretty much only with this. The last scene is that the Owlman, the Batman who's much more intelligent but evil of the other world, took the Mobius chair and he left with it because he wants knowledge. And the very last image, I'll put it up if I can find it, is the Mobius chair covered in blood right after he said, he's here. And the reason that's so freaking awesome is because in this comic, at the end, Batman, behind the note that he was given by Thomas Wayne, finds a pen. Like a little pen. That pen is a smiling face with blood on it, which means Watchmen. They are bringing in Watchmen to the universe finally, and it most likely means that Mr. Manhattan, the most powerful being in the Watchmen universe, killed Owlman. It's a very, very interesting idea. It's very interesting, very crazy, and it also explains the New 52, because that was a 10-year stretch of time in the comics. Who has enough power to actually rewrite history and just take away 10 years? Mr. Manhattan. And that's all I'm going to tell you guys today. You guys need to go to your local comic shop, support them by buying the comics and reading them for yourself. It's definitely worth it. If you like superheroes at all, they'll find something for you, I promise. And even if you don't, there's a lot of cool stuff at comic stores. Tank Girl, a bunch of Image comics that are really weird and creepy. Black Horse comics, which are usually pretty funny. I mean, there's a series I read that's basically a twisted look on Alice in Wonderland. That's called I Hate Fairyland, and it's very comic-y, very goofy, and it just destroys Alice in Wonderland, and it's so funny. So there's a lot of things for you guys to check out. Please go support your local comic stores. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think about Rebirth. And yeah, let me know about the Captain America being a Hydra member. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's dumb. I think it's a bad decision, but that's just my opinion. So that's all I have for you today. And with that being said, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more. If you have any suggestions for the show, be sure to use the hashtag WPW down in the comments or on Twitter, and your idea might just get featured on the show. So yeah, see you next time.